Welcome back, everybody. My name is BluJay, and we are back at the Reverb Outpost. And I thought we could start out this episode exactly how we ended the last one, by doing a little bit of fishing. And I thought maybe we could just fish for like 20 minutes and then call it a day. Of course, I'm kidding. We're not going to fish for 20 minutes on camera because that would be incredibly boring and half of you would leave within the first 2 minutes of this video. So we're not going to do that. We're not fishing for 20 minutes. I might fish for 20 minutes off camera because I want to try to get a mending book for my elytra because we use it quite a bit when we're flying around looking at different perspectives of builds and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how much of our tools will get back up to what we had before we sadly lost them in episode 40, I believe it was. But we're going to try to slowly but surely start building up that collection. Starting with our elytra today, I want to get a mending book, so I'm going to fish for a little while and see if I can get that taken care of. And then we'll get started with our project for today, which is not going to be working on the cargo ship. We're going to take a break from that because we've been going pretty consistently on the cargo ship since I think episode 37, 38, something like that, except for one episode where we went on an adventure, and it went very poorly. So we're going to take a break. We're going to do something a little bit smaller, a little bit more relaxed, something that's not like super high-tech, technical redstone, big build kind of stuff. It's going to be very, very relaxed and add a lot of like theme to our base. So I'm going to finish up fishing and I'll be back with you in a moment. Well, we certainly lucked out on our fishing trip. I've got 2 enchanted books in my hotbar there with my damaged elytra, and if you can guess what they are, we'll go ahead and throw our elytra in there on the anvil, and we've got a Frostwalker 2 mending book, so we're going to use the mending part of that. Don't need Frostwalker right now. And we've also got an Unbreaking 3 book, which is amazing because that will lengthen the time in between repairs for this elytra. So pretty excited about that. Very successful fishing trip. We didn't get any other mending books just yet, but hopefully we will do that sometime in the future. So I'm going to hop on down into the zombie farm and repair both my fortune pickaxe, which does have mending on it as well, and our elytra, and then we will keep going together in just a moment. We're going to need a lot of snow for today's project, so we've got to spawn in another snow golem, because I don't know what happened to the other one. I don't know if a zombie got to him, or a skeleton got to him, or maybe he just wandered away, which I don't think is possible behind the fence post. But, you know, we can hope for the best and hope that he's somewhere out there, still surviving in the snow. But we have a new friend now, our brand new snow golem. Our project today is going to require a lot of snow, so we're going to go ahead and gather some of this stuff up, and then I'll explain to you in just a few seconds what we're going to be doing with all of this snow. But it's going to take me a little while, and again, you don't need to watch this on camera. 20 minutes of this, just as bad as 20 minutes of fishing. I'll be right back. Alright, that's enough of that. No more fishing, no more snow gathering. On to today's project. We're going to be working outside in the front lawn. There's a lot of hills and valleys and dips and caves and imperfections in the land that cause quite a problem for what we want to do in today's episode. And it's very simple. We want to start working on a trench system. And if you don't know what that is, let's kind of back up for a second. This base is modeled and designed and inspired by the Echo base from Hoth in the movie The Empire Strikes Back. So if you've never seen that, you have no idea what this even is, and it's just like a snow base to you. But it is inspired by that particular base. The movie Star Wars, especially like the starfighters and just the overall feel, part of that was inspired, at least I've heard or read somewhere, that it was inspired by like the way that wars were fought in World War II. So there's like trenches in the Hoth base, and there's like, you know, foot soldiers, and there's aircraft that, you know, drop bombs or go in and, you know, attack targets and stuff like that. So it's very much in the vein of World War II. And so that's kind of the feel we're going for here as well. We're going to have a trench system set up because I have a vision for this front lawn where we're going to have like a massive battle out here. There's going to be starships everywhere. There's going to be like turrets, cannons. There's going to be probably not like AT-AT or AT-ATs, whichever you call it, walkers from Empire Strikes Back. We're probably not going to have anything like straight pulled from the movie, but we will have something that's inspired by something like that might be out further away, you know, approaching to attack and stuff like that. So the trenches are kind of to protect the foot soldiers, to get them ready for battle, and have a place for them to, you know, duck and cover when the lasers start flying. So that's kind of what we're working on today. Just gives it a little bit more atmosphere and theme to our base area, because we want this whole place to feel like it's part of one big story. Our comment of the day says, you should join the world with another phone, record and do time lapses while you are mining or doing big builds. From Alex Quinton. I thought that we could address this comment while we continue to work on the land, getting it ready for the first of many trenches. So this is a very good comment. This is great feedback for me, because time lapses are a thing that I have done in the past, but I haven't done for a while, and it's for no other reason than I just haven't had time to really invest in, like, setting up another device, which, I mean, that sounds crazy, because it's as simple as getting my other phone that I don't use anymore, or logging into my Xbox when I'm working to, you know, log into the world, set it up at one angle, and let it record, and go from there. So it's actually a relatively simple process to get that done. But, like, I've just been so episode to episode for the last little bit here, just trying to get projects cranked out, especially this cargo ship. It's kind of taken a toll. I'm not gonna lie. It has not burned me out. Definitely has not burned me out, but it has, like, caused me to work at a much slower clip, and to not plan ahead like I should, because I automatically know, all right, there's a ton left to do on the cargo ship. Here's the project stuff that we need to get done for that. We'll crank it out over the next X number of episodes. And so I haven't really done my notepad planning like I have for the majority of this series and the majority of the videos on my channel. I've got a notepad on my phone that I take notes, and I say, all right, 3 episodes from now, I want to be doing this. 4 episodes from now, I want to be doing this. So I haven't been doing that for a while, and I noticed that it started right when we started the cargo ship. So I haven't done any time lapses for a while. I haven't done any musical montages for a while where we just let clips roll and you guys listen to a nice, you know, soundtrack of music while we're building or adventuring or whatever we're doing in that particular episode. It's been a while since we've done anything like that. And I know a lot of you guys like the variety of that type of, you know, video making and editing. And so I do want to do that. I don't have a time lapse planned for today because I am a little bit behind on this video, which, again, I've been kind of behind. This has been a season that's like, it's been really busy. Easter has kind of thrown my schedule off the rails here. So, and that's okay. That happens. We recover, we catch up as we can. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been playing catch up for a little while, and it wasn't just Easter week that has, you know, been busy. It's just been life in general leading up to Easter week, and then Easter week was definitely like the big one. So all that goes to say, I absolutely recognize you guys enjoy time lapses or musical montages or whatever, you know, creative flow that we can put into the video that's not just me talking the entire time. I do want to do that, so I am going to think about that. I am going to try to do that here sometime soon. Probably not in the next episode, because I don't know that we're going to be building anything, because it is the World Tour and Download Day, so get ready for that. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot of progress done since the last World Tour and Download. But yeah, great comment. Time lapses, I hear ya. Let's make them happen, and we'll do that as soon as we can. A ton of work has been done in between. In the in-between, that's when a lot of work happens, between clips. And then we come back and show progress, and then we come back and do a little bit more, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to head on over here to our cave entrance to the zombie spawner, and this is where we're going to put our first little trench area, and so we'll count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want it to be 5 wide, so let's put a block there, and then we'll go ahead and fill this in. But basically, my idea for the whole trench system is not just like a theme slash story element of the base, but I want it to serve a purpose as well. And the purpose for our world in particular will be to access different parts of the base from multiple entrances. So like right now, the only way to get into the subscriber barracks and Patreon armory is through the hangar bay, down the steps into that hallway, and, you know, there you are. I also want to have an entrance from the trench. I want to have an entrance into the subscriber barracks and Patreon armory at some point. Not sure when we're going to weave it all together, but I'm going to have like a massive trench system all the way throughout this front lawn area that accesses different places in the base, because realistically, some of our, you know, squadrons, let's say the blue squadron, the light blue squadron from the very first subscriber barracks, maybe those are the pilots of Reverb Outpost, but then we have foot soldiers. So maybe the purple squadron that we just finished up in the last episode, maybe those are the foot soldiers that would come out into the trenches, and it wouldn't make sense for them to go into the hangar bay first and then walk across a little open area and then get down into the trenches. It makes much more sense for their safety and protection to have an access point into the trenches from the base itself. So they're not taking, you know, any risks. They're not putting their heads above ground until they get into a safe and secure position ready to, you know, defend the base. This is a military base after all, and we want it to not just look and feel like it, but we want it to function like one as well. And it doesn't make sense the way that we have it laid out right now. I've always had this in mind from the beginning. I wanted these like trenches with different access points all around the base. So we're getting there. We're making progress. This is just the beginning of this whole trench system. We're just going to do one, just as a sample today, just to relax, to get something small done, to add a little bit more depth to the base area. And quite honestly, I've been tired of stepping over the natural terrain that has been here since the very beginning, with all of the cave entrances and just little dips and imperfections in the terrain. It's just been kind of frustrating walking around it and having to navigate through rough terrain. So I'm cleaning it up. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, but I'm going to do some more work off camera, get some stuff done, and see how this feels, and then I'll come back to you in just a moment with a progress update. Well, I've got a pretty large progress update for you guys. I got about half the trench done. We've got a little walkway that goes over the top of it with a couple of stained glass railings, which are not lined up correctly. Whoops. I'll be right back. I'm going to fix that. Take two. We should be all good to go. This is all symmetrical. We've got the correct number of blocks on both sides of the little walkway, and it's looking pretty good. Over here, we've got a couple of emergency exits in case, you know, you need to duck and cover and hoof it back to the hangar bay and take cover. Down here, we'll take care of this later, something for a future episode. It will remain a cave for now, but as you run through here, it looks very natural. It's supposed to feel like it was just dug straight out of the snow. They like used whatever tools or machinery to dig it out so that it's, you know, it serves its purpose. It's not supposed to be like a clean hallway. It's not supposed to be very like well built up, but it's supposed to be something that allows them to, you know, get up here and take cover and fight and defend the base and all of that. This little platform that I'm working on right here, if you saw The Last Jedi, these look very much more like the trenches in that movie than they do the one on Hoth, because the ones on Hoth are pretty shallow, and we will have some shallow trenches as well, but these are pretty deep. With a little like staircase like this where you can get up on the platform and, you know, just kind of lean over with your sniper rifle or whatever you're going to use, what kind of blaster you're going to use. These are the little perches where the troopers can sit and wait and snipe and, you know, defend the base. And that's kind of the idea of what we're going for here. So I've got a ton more snow to fill in, a ton more work to do. I kind of want to focus on this because, you know, this part of the process of, you know, making the terrain look all natural, sometimes that takes pretty great focus, and I feel like I need that great focus today. So I'll be back with you in just a few moments when we've got some more progress, and I'll show you what we've got when I'm ready. All right, here's the little tour of what we've done so far, and it's pretty much finished. So we've got our trench entrance over here if you're coming from the cargo ship area, and we've got a little platform where we can snipe. We can see everything over the terrain because we flattened it out. It looks good, and I'm destroying my trench already. Let's fix that up and head on over here. And up here we've got another platform, so we can fit several troopers all the way across here to defend the base, and it's looking pretty good so far. I will definitely have some like laser turrets and ships flying around and all sorts of action going on to spice this place up a little bit, but that's all going to be in the future. That's pretty much it for that project for today. Just a starter trench, something to get us going and inspired. All right, I've planted a few cactus so that we can get enough for some green dye, but something weird about the new update recently that's kind of broken the UI. It's a little weird. Look at this. The cactus, sometimes items don't consolidate like they should. This is so strange. I've got two cactuses, cacti, is that how you say it? In one slot, I've got one in another and one in a third slot. And it's like, why are they taking up 3 separate slots for the same item? They should all go to the same one. They're not renamed, they're not different items. So I'm not sure what's going on with the UI in the last update or two, and they've kind of sadly messed up the like the descriptions of the tools to where they overlap the hotbar, and you can't see what's in the hotbar when you're selecting certain things that have multiple enchantments and stuff like that. It's a little bit funky right now, but that's okay. We're gonna gather up some green dye because we are starting our green subscriber barracks today, and we'll get that taken care of off camera. Get the first couple of slots all set up, and we'll add somebody brand new to our green squadron, very first person, in just a moment. All right, everybody, let's check it out. The green squadron subscriber barracks all set up and looking good. First 4 beds are in place, and the first person we're going to add today, Senzaki Gaming. Welcome, Senzaki Gaming, to the Green Squadron. Thank you so much for being so active in the comment section here and over on Twitter. And just a little plug for Twitter. If you don't follow me over there, be sure to do that. And I'd love to connect with you there as well. So thank you so much. Welcome to the Green Squadron. And last but not least, we have a brand new person to add today to the Patreon Armory. And we're going to go on in here and throw on the armor to the armor stand, which will even out this room. And if we add any more patrons, we'll have to add another section. So that's pretty cool. And pose up the armor stand. And today we are adding to the Patreon Armory, brand new patron last month, Irish Warlord. There we go. So thank you so much, Irish Warlord. I really appreciate you contributing to the channel by being a faithful patron for the last month, and I look forward to a long-time relationship over on Patreon. Thank you so much for that. And I thought that it would be a good idea just to kind of update everybody, because I haven't talked about Patreon for a while, and there's been a few new subscribers since then. We are over 8,000 subscribers at this point and climbing every day, and I just want to say that I'm grateful for every single one of you, every person that watches these videos, every person that comments. I'm just so grateful that you guys choose to do that and, you know, support the channel in that way. But there are some of you out there, you know, the people that are in the Patreon Armory who have chosen to say, hey, I support this guy's content. I support BluJay and his content to the point where I want to contribute financially to the channel to help out in that way. And that is such a huge help for my family right now, just with having 2 kids and you know, just the life of having 2 kids. It's always helpful to have a little extra money coming in. So you guys that are faithfully every month contributing to the Patreon are such a help to my family. So I want to say thank you to those of you that are already patrons. But for those of you that are considering joining Patreon, it is a month-by-month commitment. There is no, like, contract. There's no, like, set time period that you have to contribute. If you want to contribute $1 for 1 month and you want to say, that's what I can give, that'd be awesome. I would appreciate that. And any person who is, you know, a patron, whether it's for 1 month or whether it's for multiple months, gets added to the Patreon Armory. And there's a lot of really cool rewards over there that you guys might be interested in as well. Like, you know, custom wallpapers that I submit every month for you guys, and a Patreon exclusive realm where I think there's like 5 or 6 people playing on there now, and, you know, they're already talking about fighting the Ender Dragon again a second time. And just like a lot of really cool stuff that I have to offer on Patreon if you choose to support the channel beyond just watching, beyond just commenting. Those things are awesome, but if you want to take it to the next level and, you know, support the channel through a financial contribution, there's a lot of really cool things that you could get out of it as well. So be sure to check that out. The link is in the description below. I would love for you to consider supporting the channel in that way if you can and if you so desire. Thank you for your consideration. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time that I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It was kind of fun just to take a break from a big scheduled project that we've been working on for a while, and do something a little bit more creative and, you know, simple. This is not like the most intense of builds that we've ever built on this series, but it's one of those that, like, it's the subtle details that add everything to the base. If you've got these subtle details, they add so much to your story, so much to your theme, so much to your builds. Don't forget the small stuff. It's cool to build the big stuff, but don't forget the small stuff. That's what I always like to think. So that's what we did today. We built a little trench, and we'll be building more of these in the future. Some of it on camera, some of it off camera probably. But let me know what you guys thought about today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. But for now, my name is BluJay, and I've got to fly on out of here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.